good to be here. I think it's important that you guys see every side of what the Boston Comedy Festival has to offer. There were winners and losers in that one, huh? And we got the winner out of the way. It's good to be here, man. I'm from Kansas originally, and when I got to New York, I found that my Kansas was getting in my way a lot. You know, because like Kansas is not like on the cultural cusp of anything. And I started making friends in Brooklyn, and I just found myself fumbling like a lot when I got here. Like, I was talking to a girl like a week into being in New York, and we were talking about movies. And I thought we were talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, okay? And I was pretty far off. Right? She was like, here's what she said. She was like, I think there should be more POC films. And I was like, I couldn't agree more. It's kind of an amazing breath of fresh air. I was like, yeah, there's only like 5, and everybody says they stink, but I don't think that's fair. You know? And she was like, yeah, they always get snubbed at the Oscars. And I was like, good point. God damn, this girl was really into Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm kind of getting hard right now. I didn't even know I like this so much, dude. She was like, yeah, they keep casting non-POC actors to play POC roles. That is so true. They've got to get Depp back in those bad boys. They got to get Orlando Bloom back in those guys. She was like, well, they're white. And I was like, right. I'll see you later. Yeah. I'm dumb, dude. I'm like dumb in the way like a dad is. Like I'm bad at my own phone. It's like I don't know how to turn notifications off and shit. Like I flew recently and I played this Solitaire app that came pre-installed on my phone. And I've been getting push notifications from the Solitaire app for like 3 weeks. And it is embarrassing, because a friend of mine will like walk past my phone and it will light up from the Solitaire game. Like, hey, time for a quick game? It's like, dude, I'm not like into Solitaire. I was in a pinch, right? Yeah. I never thought that I would be hearing from the game Solitaire in my life. It is an existentially lonely thing to hear from. You know, they're just like, hey, haven't played in a while. What are you out there, getting laid? You'll be back. They always come back to Solitaire. It's also weird to get notifications from an app that I didn't choose to install on my phone. You know, I just didn't know that I needed to hear from them for anything. Like, it'd be like if you used the calculator function on your phone, and the next day you got a notification that was like, you ever wonder what 6 times 9 is? Yeah, why don't you fire this bad boy up, huh? Dude? Take calculator for a whirl. Back open a cold one. There's a fun app. There's an idea. I want you to fire this bad boy up. Type in 8008135. Yeah. We may not be the Tinder app, but we still got some titties. Right? Boobies to be exact. No, man. I grew up in Kansas. My parents were divorced when I was 2. And after they split up, big income gap in my household. Like my mom made a lot more money than my dad. And my brothers and I would go back and forth one week, like dad's house, mom's house. So my mom had like cool stuff like cable and video games and air conditioning. And then we'd go to my dad's house the next week and we had the great outdoors. That's what we had over there. But my dad had an interesting parenting style, which was to arm us with BB guns at a young age. Just kind of send us out, right? So my brothers and I, we would just run around the property with BB guns. One night we snuck off the property and we went to this construction site that they were building next door. And we accidentally shot out this $10,000 generator at this construction site. And when I say we accidentally shot it out, I mean we intentionally shot bullets at it until the power went out. We were like, hell yeah, we did it! You know? And we went back and we got in so much trouble with my dad to the point that he sat us down and he was like, hey, the project manager of the construction site is coming to talk to me about what you kids did. So you're going to go down in the basement and not say a word while I talk to this man. We're like, okay, we're scared shitless. We go down in the basement. We put our ear next to the door to eavesdrop. The project manager comes in and says to my dad, we hear him go, hey, did your kids shoot out our generator? And my dad said, I don't have kids. He was like, well, if you don't have kids, why is there a tire swing in a tree house in the front yard? And my dad said this, and I'll never forget this. He goes, well, can a man have a tree house? Funniest thing I had ever heard anybody say. And so we burst out laughing in the basement. And then the guy was like, well, if you don't have kids, why do I hear three boys laughing in the basement? And my dad said, oh, those boys? Those aren't mine. Which, not what you want to say when somebody's that. It's cool, he went to jail for a long time. But my dad's a funny guy. He, a couple of years ago, he took us on a trip. No, what did he do? He died. Yeah. Yeah, it slipped my mind, yeah. My dad passed away a couple of years ago. We got him cremated. He didn't want to be cremated, but he had kind of like a Missouri twang, you know? Because he was like, I want to be buried. We're like, does he get burned? He's like, I want to be buried. And so we just played it safe and got him incinerated. But we got him a really nice urn. We got him a nice, I mean, it was used, but the lady before was in and out, you know? It's sort of a new urn smell, you know what I'm talking about? I will say this, people overdo it with their funerals, you know? I feel like guys especially. Like, if it's true that if the stereotype is true that women want like a big wedding, I think it's also true that guys want a big funeral, you know? Deep down in our heart, we want a big fucking funeral. That's what we all want. We all want. And there's only two types of burials we'll really even entertain the fantasy of. Either Jedi Viking burial, or ideally pyramid, right? We want to go on a pyramid. Now, pyramid's a lot of work, right? You gotta like the #1 sales guy in your company. You gotta leverage that into being like the president of a third world country. It's like a ton of work that goes into that to end up in a pyramid. Most of us are just kind of hoping for a Jedi Viking burial. And if you don't know what that is, it's just you're on like this like little funeral pyre in a river, naked, laying on it. It's going down the river. You're covered in kerosene, and a guy dips an arrow into flames, shoots it at you, lands on you. You go up in flames, and then go down a waterfall. Not asking for much, right? And this is your version of a small wedding, right? And we've got a fantasy. We all do. We want everyone we've ever met there. I want my war buddies. I want my frat buddies, right? I want Skip, Spud, Scooter, Smitty. I need everybody there, dude. I have people shooting rounds in the air. I need F-35s flying overhead. People folding flags into triangles. I wasn't even in the army. I was never in a frat. But I need them there, right? You know? Pyramid, what a way to die. I do think the guy who had the giant pyramid in Egypt that's still there, that guy, biggest dick of any guy that ever lived. So that's a crazy life right there. Because he was just in charge of that place, and he was like, all right, everybody's job from now on is going to be to build my tomb. From now on, for the next 70 years. Next 70 years, everybody's going to build my tomb. By the way, I'm 11. I'm 11, you're going to build my tomb. And then when I die, you're going to put me in it, and then all of the gold and silver and rubies that we have as a country inside it, locked away. And then he just did that, and everyone's out of a job and money after that. What a psychopath, right? But also deep down, every guy's like kind of killed it, right? Like kind of crushed it. Yeah. Man, I've got a job though. Dave was talking about job. I do have an office job. And it sucks, it does suck. They want us to, we were working remotely for the last couple of years, and they want us back in the office now, and they know we don't want to go back in the office. And so they're trying to get us like motivated to want to go back into the office, and the stuff they're coming up with is crazy. Like, my manager actually said this, she goes, good news guys, I just got the green light. We can decorate the office. So bring in your Polaroids and Christmas lights, you know. And I said this to her as a joke. I didn't realize how insane it made me sound. But I was like, Tracy, listen, if I ever decorate this place, it is going to be with my own brain matter. And she did not laugh. But the good news is we are back to working from home. Ever since I was like, do not come back in this building.